Good morning to you as the disco ball continues to turn. How are you? How are we? Congratulations, condolences to all that came. How are you today? This is Nix. Good morning to you. Good evening somewhere else and a good night to the rest. All right. Depending on where you are, because as I understand, this here is international. It's international. So I did come to see you. Hi. Happy Jueves. Juve to some others. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What's up? Hello, arigato. Thank you for showing up. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit your notification button for when I'm on because there will be a plethora of information. Some of you should be taking notes. Some of you. Hi. I just got to keep saying hello because people want to be spoken to. They want me to say hi. They want to greet them. And it's definitely doubled down and understood as of right now. I did pick the full deck. The foil, I want to say the foil deck, but it is the full deck. You see there, right there, the full, right? Okay, new beginnings, right? And something new, shiny, something that definitely represents our new beginnings collective. I haven't pulled this card out in a while. Want to know why? Because it wasn't event worthy. I had to really dig through some things. So now I'm celebrating again. We're again in the celebration. The wheel has turned definitely. What's up? What the business is? Do you know that apparently I wasn't the problem. I never was the problem. I kind of tried to tell you all that, but then a lot of you knew that I wasn't the problem. But you needed me to believe so because I would have found out that you were weak. You had a poor mindset. You did not have any faith in me. And you're scared to death. And that's okay. I forgive you now because that's not my problem. The thing is, the city has been enacted as a chastity belt. So, in fact, whoever told you that I was a hoe was indeed telling you a lie because that indeed was kind of like a chastity belt. See, I'm aware that there are people that are invested in me not procreating and not having anybody else to share my things with, my sources, my gifts, and everything's with. So I really wasn't supposed to made no kids. The thing is, when the guys got desperate and they really didn't want to leave me, they decided that they wanted the kids. The issue was they got threatened never to treat me well because there was somebody else invested in making sure that I was a human wallet for them. Understood. And then it became spread widespread. The more this person did, the more they had to pull people in because they were acted as a chastity belt. So in fact, it's not that I can't keep a man. It's not that I can't get a man. It's just that the ones that I've gotten were broke, scared, and alone. And depending on what they needed and what they didn't have at the time, the person that targeted them made sure that they either were scared of jail, um, scared of poverty, or just scared of being alone. And apparently, there are a lot of people that are scared of being alone. So, in that, they kind of canceled out each other. Because how are you going to be a chastity belt and call me a hoe? See, you see how that doesn't work out. That one thing cancels out the other. So it basically, the things that have been said about me were basically to keep you all away from me, right? Because I am indeed the investment. I was tripping yesterday when I was outside. I saw many nationalities with a very, very much um, appreciate it. I didn't know what. I was like, oh my gosh. I saw the Somali man controlling the other guy that had habits, and the guy was really, really suffering. So I saw how there were a lot of people being tortured via access to me. I never meant to be so much important. However, it's not really about me. Got a family to feed, got a family to feed. They depending on me, depending on me. I got a family to feed, a family to feed. They depending on me, depending on me. So, depending on the people who they were in contact with at that point in time, those people had to reach out to other people to tell them, don't mess with her. I want her alone. I don't want her to do nothing. I don't want her to be married. I don't want her to have money. I don't want her to elevate out of my control. And that is what's so crazy, that's what happened. When I watched this guy chain smoke in the train station and it's illegal on the platform, he smoked like several cigarettes. It's illegal. And no one said anything. The fact of the matter is, had I decided to light up a cigarette, there was somebody poised to come and lock me up, because now the investment is not being handled properly, because I've been alerted to the fact that the whole city has been enacted as my chastity belt. I don't think that it's limited to just this city. It's just limited to where I am at the point in time. So, indeed, the one that is for me would be a person who would actually know about spiritual warfare. He wouldn't be a weak sucker. He wouldn't be a weakling. And he'd be healthy. And he'd have boundaries. And he wouldn't have kept the secret that he was being threatened by people to me. He would have told me, hey, there's somebody telling me to stay the fuck away from you. Let's find out. And certainly a person would find a person who's worth being threatened to stay away from worth protecting and more valuable. But you guys are idiots, so it's okay. It's all right. And now that they've opened this nutshell so wide, there are even rich people who are willing to get in just for shits and giggles. You understand? So I do understand the animal that I'm dealing with. It's as though they've made me president and I'm being fought over by the Democrats and the Republicans. Wonderful, wonderful world. Everybody's so fucking creative. All right, so it was funny to me. And by the way, do you know that that's a backfire when you start having those rings around your eyes, like looking like a raccoon all the time, and you've gotten sleep? I don't know what's going on with you, but you're glitching out. Stay away from them railroad tracks. Anyway, somebody is definitely visiting the crossroads. I heard it 3 times this morning. I heard the train. The train was going by. I said, it's the crossroads. Woo! The first of the month will be coming back. It comes back every 28 to 31 days. So the first of the month does come. So yeah, we know about that. Then we have the fact that I did actually sign contract with someone who's actually a coward. And he had so many secrets that he could be handled. And I did not pay attention to the signs. He was telling me about the ex-wife and the conditions and things of that nature. I was very skeptical about it, but I realized that this man had leverage beyond leverage against him, and I was the ticket to keep him in circulation. So this man has claimed so many things. This man is nowhere near a Muslim. He is the pig himself. So I'm just trying to figure out who the hell let him in some kind of brotherhood when he is loyal to no damn one. I mean, shoot, we knew that I had to be under some kind of spell. This man was 3 inches away from really being a dyke. What the fuck? I need to sip coffee. That was really dark. However, when things started to settle, I realized that there are a lot of sad, weird people that are coming together because they haven't planned right, or they haven't done the things with their gifts that they should have done, because these people had things that they could have worked with. However, they thought it'd be a lot funner to just do me in. I mean, I've had family members threaten to not treat me right, and they did so. And I'm trying to figure out why this broke asshole got all this shit. And now I realize, because they were willing to victimize me. I cannot wait for the next generation to hear the facts of your life. That I pray that they don't meet you 3 times over in the next lifetime. It's going to be wonderful. And I'm not going to say shit the same way you haven't said shit yet. So no love lost, no love gained. People think that I'm just sitting on top of the world, top of the world, top of the world. But I'm no Brandy. I'm just the color. Woo! Tennessee whiskey. Damage. Damage. I remind myself of, what is that? Aged 14 years. Lovely drink. Lovely, lovely, lovely drink. It's a rye. It's a rye that I like to drink when I go out to Seven West. I like to order the big guy, right? Because why not? I have to. With the amount of things that I've had to finagle and manage around, and I still actually managed to still live okay without succumbing to all these devices that were set up against me. And after actually sitting and meditating today in my favorite yoga pose, I actually came across exactly the main person who would have the skill and the stealth enough to enact all these things. See, I'm aware of who stays away from me, but I needed to see the degrees of how much and why. And I'm quite okay. Don't come back. It's just that now I see, CC, Valium, needles, hypodermic needles. Yeah, I saw that. I was standing near a bench, and there was a setup coming. Someone had left a open hypodermic needle out on the bench near where I was. However, I noticed the handlers. There was a Middle Eastern guy, there was a Somali guy, there was a white guy with glasses. He was staring me down so hard, you could feel him taking measurements, right? Then I had this one guy goes up to another platform. He takes his camera and he's pointing it down. I actually got into a great pose because, shoot, why not? Why ruin it? I was like, and he took that picture. Okay, it was wonderful. So I was watching the watchers watch me, and I also was watching them handle the ones that were on the platform. For the ones that were medicated, under medication, under Medicaid medicine, there's something a little extra in your shit. I realized that. After I looked up a medicine that they tried to prescribe me, I realized where it came from. It came from some Ayurvedic situation. It came from a holistic person. Imagine that, big pharma actually getting medicine from a holistic person made somewhere from somewhere in some jungle, some rainforest somewhere. And then I realized that I needed to follow that. So big pharma made me follow that, the Ayurvedic medicine. That medicine is definitely been had by occultists, a dark occultist, and I was prescribed it. And I was like, oh shit, what the hell? Somebody tried to put handles on me without me knowing. So when I saw those guys thrillering, glitching out on the platform, and I seen the guy chain smoking with the raccoon eyes. He reminded me of not Rick and Morty. He reminded me of not Adventure Time. What's that other show with the raccoon in the in the blue jay? That movie. He reminded me of that raccoon. He had the eyes. He had the demon eyes. He had the eyes that meant I've been up doing spell work or trying to control these bitches for weeks. What's going on? Where's the money? See, so yeah, it was very, very transparent in what I was looking at. And the guy looked like he was going to come, and then I saw this one Somali guy in a brown hoodie. He actually reached into his pants, grabbed his whatever, and he looked like he was about to come up and touch me, but I actually looked at him right in time. He looked at me with a dumb smile and he backed away and he went back. And I was like, what the hell is going on within the streets around my home? Nobody's explaining. But however, I was watching. So I watched the commands. There were silent commands, there were verbal commands. Most of the commands sounded like regular conversation, but it was the cadence. It was the way in which it was said, and it was the eye contact or lack thereof. Depending on the person who they had to handle in, there was a certain way in which they knew how to handle them. So I paid attention to all of the skill that was being presented to me at the time, and I paid attention to the people who were handling. They were not suffering at all. However, they were dressed down for the event. And so sorry you guys missed work and got late for some things because they were holding up the transportation. I see when it comes to me, three or two to three buses will go one direction for a long time, and then it won't go that way for a while. Depending on where I'm going, the bus will change or the train will change or whatever mode of transportation I'm taking, the time will change. The time will adjust. Whether they want me to wait a little longer or whether they want it to be real quick. The thing is to catch me off guard so that I don't have enough time to prepare or think about the interaction in which I'm about to come into. Yesterday, I got crowded into a big old can. I'm not meaning a real can. The subway car, it got crushed, okay? And it kept getting crushed. And then it kept missing. So someone was trying to frustrate me. However, I was tickled at the amount of people they were willing to piss off in order to see me in real life. It was really fun. I am that bitch. It was wild. So the more people they made uncomfortable and sweaty, the more they made them wait, and the more they made them crunch into buses and trains and anywhere where they thought I would have been. The thing was to either try to humiliate me or create some type of anxiety by way of crowd, knowing I don't seek out crowds. However, I am able to manage them. I did used to go to the carnival, the Miami Carnival. No, I didn't need anyone to watch out for me. I was really looking out for you guys because you don't think very well, or at least you made me think that so that you could make me believe that you needed me. However, you needed money, but you really need life. Anywho, I am able to manage crowds. That's not the problem. The thing is, you tried to make me uncomfortable with the least amount with the people that I don't like to keep company with, and that is people that voluntarily go out and push drugs into their veins, and they would probably try to push it into mine if they felt like I would go have. And that is what you tried to push me into. However, most of these people are suffering, and I am aware of that, as I do have extensive background in mental health, right? Because I've worked in three different facilities with some of the people, the very people who have driven themselves into poverty because they chose to be friends with me, not knowing that the people around me were going to put them in a pressurized situation to where they would have to go against me in my face in order to prove loyalty to a criminal organization. Did I break it down enough for you, or should I just keep going? Hmm. Have they made you uncomfortable enough? I think maybe they might have, because I was listening to a podcast the other day and I really liked what the lady was saying. She was saying something about Jerome Crow, something about Clyburn, the Clyburn situation in District 6. And the more I thought about the Clyburn situation, yeah, it's not very coincidental. There are no coincidence. And the problem with that is, as you get older, you realize that politics isn't that far away from you, never that far away from you. It's just where you are in life. It depends on how it affects you. And if you actually have some kind of influence, or you have some kind of impression or the masses, someone will see even the small thing that you do and realize that it has a potential to have a big impact. And I think that is another thing that has been brought to the forefront. Okay. Yeah. So I forgot, today it's Thursday and it's also early voting for some of us who have choices to vote. And unfortunately, for a lot of you guys, that has also been a part of your situation. Some of you have descended unknowingly to the point where you guys can't even vote. And if your vote was to count, it doesn't count now because you chose option C. See me and get on my damn nerves. And now you may be facing a situation in where you may not be a voter and your vote does not count. And it is not my fault. It is the lack of loyalty to yourselves, not to me. I had no idea you were in such a situation, or you allowed someone to put you in such a situation for someone who you don't know. And they totally lied to you about, because, like I said, if they have enacted the whole entire city as a chastity belt, calling me a hoe would be far fetched, right? Especially when you would have to be the one to send in the supply and rescind the supply and threaten the supply and get rid of the supply. Are we following me? Okay. So the last best person that I had was close to actually being an heir, but the problem is, the head of the snake came in and saw me living very, very well and saw that I had a potential to help this man actually steward his wealth. And that could not be, because they were not going to get access to it, because she saw that I was definitely trying to get away from this person. So they did threaten and enact addictions on someone who probably would have been the love of my life had he not decided to go into the abyss of the addictions. Well, he did try to come back and kidnap me once for a Super Bowl game, but I would not go. I would not go. Thank you, Mr. Knights, for displaying and disclosing my location so that people can set me up. I thought you were my best friend. I hope you get deported. Take your medicine. Anyway, like I'm saying, there were people placed around me from international to wherever, and they were placed so that they can disclose my location at any given time so that things could be enacted, so that I could not go into a real situation or a real relationship. The last wonderful place that I lived at was a 3-story home with a laundry room on the second floor. It was clean. I remember when she walked in that Thanksgiving, her heart dropped into her ass because my floors were gleaming. It smelled like almond, the almond wood polish. That's because I wanted my floors so pretty, because at that time I wanted her validation, not knowing that the better I did, the more she hated me, because I was never supposed to be shit, because she wasn't shit and she still ain't shit. But she looks good in it. I can't say that she hasn't picked out great outfits or picked out nice things, but she's picked all that stuff from my brain since I was young and scribbling on papers. When she realized that eventually this bitch is going to tell everything that happens in this house if I allow her to keep writing and being creative. So I need to quelch this wellness out of her as soon as possible. I will not be able to turn her into the cash cow that I believed her father would provide me with. I guess all those pictures at the club at the Patty LaBelle show and him doing the boogie at the clubs pissed you off because you couldn't control this man, could you? I am my daddy's son. I am my daddy's son. But you said, I hate this little bitch because not only does he love his daughter more than me, he's going to continue seeing bad bitches because I'm a silly bitch and his mother hates me because all I do is pocket watch. She could tell the minute you laid your eyes on that velvet wallpaper that she had. She knew you were a hot ass gold digger and she wanted you away from her son. But that's not what happened. I don't know what happened because you chose to keep me away from every single grandparent, especially when they got close to dying, so that you can make sure you can appropriate the will. Isn't that true? I didn't see my maternal or paternal grandmother passed away. You kept me quite away from them because you knew I would walk in the room and know something was wrong. You kept me away from them physically. You did so by way of intimidation. You used all your whisperers and all your spiders to go about and enact all your things. Both my grandmothers were sniped out. I don't know by who, but it wasn't no natural shit. It was either voodoo or a hypodermic needle. Hmm. I realized when people were telling me stories about Broco and Broco being it being injected with bleach. It was a test. You were trying to see how long he was going to live after he got injected with bleach. He lived for about a week. So you guys kind of figured out your math and your sciences back then. It's a wonderful thing, my memory. I know you hate my memory. It's the best thing about me. I'm like an elephant. As long as it happened to me, I'm going to remember. Save your stupid souls. Didn't mean to be so creepy. All right. I've already pre pulled three cards. All right. I've already pre pulled. And it's interesting what I'm looking at already. I've already pulled three cards, but I'm going to say what they are. And then I'm going to read my scripture because we need to be grounded and protected collective, because the things that I found out about myself, I hope you taking notes because this is what you're going to have to find out about yourself. Know you were perfect. It's nothing wrong with you. It was nothing wrong with you. Someone saw the potential that you had. They saw that you were going to show more than five people how to be better. And the thing about it is that would have messed up the ratio in your town, your province, your zip code or whatever, because there are buppies. There are people that want to look down on other people. And if you should get a lot more people up, that'll be a lot more work they'll have to do to keep people down so they can keep getting payments to keep people down. Do you understand? You're part of the food chain. Yeah. Cannibalism is real, whether literally or spiritually. Eating the people up is what they have the middle class doing. You just don't know which ones are middle class because they have some that pretend that they are high class when they live very, very, very low lives. So that I hope you do understand. Okay. It is not that your life is hard. It is that someone has accepted a position to keep you under them. And it is a Ponzi scheme, it is a pyramid scheme. And we're all part of it, whether we want to know it or not. But the thing about it is, it's going to get harder as you get bigger because there are some people who they don't work hard, but they are willing to benefit off of your hard work. So it looks like you're working, and you're never getting ahead, but you don't understand. But there's somebody assigned to you on the back end. There's somebody who's assigned through your 401k to take about 4 to 2%, right? Every time you get paid. There's someone in Vital Records who's going to go through your HIPAA and let whoever your handler is know what you got going on so that they can decide whether or not they want to shut it down. They've got someone at BG&E who actually watches your kilowatts and sees what they want to blow and mess up, because if it's not getting a steady and consistent flow of power, you do make the risk of destroying your compressors depending on the devices or things that you have in there, the motors, the light switches. Lights are not blowing because something's weird going on. That's because someone is either overriding your electric output or they're undercurrenting it. This is why you're seeing dark and lightness come. It's not spookiness. We're being gaslighted the shit out of by these different companies, and we're all being charged for it. You'll go into a place, you'll fill out the place, they'll ask for your name, your address, and this and that, and they will give you a service. But in turn for that service, your information is being sold to five fucking losers who don't want to work hard, but they are willing to gang stalk and harass you. They're willing to hack you and see what you got going on, report it to them, and they can decide whether or not you are the big payout or not. And depending on your performance here on this world, somebody decides what lottery you go in. Are we clear now? Thank you. Okay, so we've got the star here. Yeah, I'm going to tell you what the cards is before I read them. We've got the star here, and this is the one that I'm going to read from when we start, okay? And then we've got the Three of Wands here, off into the distance, foresight, hindsight, and foresight, hindsight, and present. Ooh, someone's on a Scrooge ride. Someone's actually going into the future, the present, and the past. So someone's definitely getting that Scrooge ride, maybe a few of you. All right, probably that raccoon on the tracks who was chain smoking, because it looks like he needs to be shown a thing or two, because he was really fucking stressed out. I really thought at any moment he was going to jump out on the tracks. By the way, I did push that hypodermic needle onto the tracks because something told me that if the right handler came around, they were going to get one of you guys to glitch out and try to hit me with that needle and try to give me some type of STD. Yeah, by the way, somebody's been paid to try to give me an STD. By the way, it should be one of my exes or my ex-husband. I only have one ex-husband, but one of my exes, because they're mad that they couldn't either keep the contract, subdue me, win the freaking lottery money, or just basically have me under some type of dominion or put me under some power of attorney or something like that. So yeah, they're mad because not only did someone put some type of confusion hypnosis on them to where they thought that the more people they had sex with, the more it would make me want them. Why would that make sense? Do you know that you're under some type of attachment? Why would you having sex with hundreds of people hurt me? You're hurting you. You're just making me look at you like you're disgusting. Yeah, that's an attachment. I don't think anybody really wants to go about and just be a cum bucket for everybody or eat people's while they're on their menstrual. That is an attachment. That's a dark attachment. That's beyond sense. Why would you put your mouth down there? Like, I remember being in a dark place where that is what they were doing. So when I walked into that building and seeing all those grown women working side by side, and I know that they're sleeping or they have come into sexual contact with the same exact guys, that is attachment that you guys are spreading. And the fact that he keeps sleeping with y'all means that he's able to sync up y'all, you know what? All y'all Wi-Fi, I'm gonna say it like that, y'all women Wi-Fi, without y'all knowing. And the way that he's able to pull on y'all is because when he does that, when he syncs up y'all Wi-Fi, now y'all on a shared system, and he can manage y'all emotions. He can bring this woman's emotions to your house and that woman's emotions to her house. So y'all don't even know that the only reason why he's pulling on y'all really probably don't even like this guy that much. It's just that he was able to get in and get your money, give you some money or get some money from you, do spell work over that. And then now you don't know what to do because your head is all spent up because he's having and actually ingesting blood from all these other women and coming kissing you in your mouth and laying with you. And now you spiritually corrupt, don't even know you spiritually corrupt because he done hooked up all y'all Wi-Fi. Now y'all on a shared network and he's taking feelings from one house to another. If he needs you to cry, he takes this one's crying. If he needs you weak, he takes this one's weakness. If he needs you strong and to get some money, he takes that one's money. Are you getting it? So you keep sharing men and you see what happened. And what's the crazy part is men don't even think that it could happen to them. There are women out here that are learning that y'all want to be pegged, y'all want y'all oil changed. That's dominion. They are learning how to dominate you because y'all done dominated them. What's good for the goose got good for the gander, and now y'all out up here like, oh shit. Right. When the world is out of sync, when things are out of balance, this is what's going to happen. Everybody wanted to be girls. Everybody wanted to soft like, oh, I got a bag, I'm cute, jeez, look at my The men too. That ooh, look at my butt crack. Nice looking guys. Soon as you get to the back of him, you be like, no, I'm good. I'm good. He advertising for everything. He just looking for some money. And see, so you got to pay attention to that. And now we about to go through another shift. Now everybody's about to be dudes. We got bitches not washing their ass for 2 and 3 days. They want to peg you more than you want to peg them. And a lot of y'all want it. And y'all don't tell the truth about that. Y'all claim manship because y'all not asking for money. But when a woman turn around and give you money, you say she too masculine because she's really doing what you actually wanted her to do. You just don't want to be the one to say that you wanted the damn money. Right. That part. So in truth, when everybody was acting as y'all like that woman thing, y'all wanted to be women. Y'all basically came and said the quiet part out loud, and then you resented us for figuring that shit out. And then women stopped wanting to be women. They wanted to be one of y'all. We want to walk around with reproductive organs and use them as leverage and stuff like that. And then we realized that that's not even good either. Because y'all still going to leave us with the damn leverage. And then you're going to get mad at the leverage. So that didn't work. So now here we are in Hangman. Everybody's trying to squelch everybody's stuff. So, because everybody's tired of everybody. And they're looking for some money, but money is not going to fix it, as we see. We've got multi-billionaires glitching out. We've got multi-millionaires who are so goddamn miserable that they're paying people to be miserable and to make other people miserable because they are not okay. They are not okay. They're not okay. And it's interesting enough that they would follow all these commands because they want somebody to tell them what to do. Something I told you the other day. The soft life for a man is to be told what to do and to accept it. The soft life for a woman is to actually be listened to without the pushback. Because guess what? Even for the worst woman ever, at some point, what she said had good intention. And that's a hard pill to swallow. It is. Maybe she stopped saying good things a long time ago. Even when she was a baby, even when she was 5 or 6 or 4 or 3. At some point, even that devil woman that you don't like who tried to kill you, at some point, her value got taken away from her, and then she just started robbing everybody else of their value. And guess what? We have the other side to blame. So it's all even. It's even distribution of the blame. There is no one side. There is no one color. There is no one way to look at it. You always need to see things from both sides. And that is the problem. A lot of people want to see their side and they don't want to see other people's side. They only want to see their struggle. They don't want to see other people's struggle. And this is why it's become very uncomfortable here in this earth because everybody wants to be alone here. However, they're not. And even the ones who don't want to be alone here, they're being controlled. They're being used. They don't understand. You're never alone. And this is why God wants you to come back to him because you depend so much on man that you don't realize you're never alone. You tell yourself that God doesn't hear, he doesn't see, he doesn't know, but he gave you ears. He gave you all these things. So you're never alone. And this is why nobody should be going for gangs and cliques and ganging up against one person or another or one group or another is because you're never alone. You don't have faith. You depend on all the devices of man. You depend on everything that man makes. But man saw you depend on it and decided that he was going to gaslight you by taking it. And Candy from a Baby was so funny when I heard it again. I realized I had to be the candy and you were made out to be the baby. And you did not pay that attention. someone told you you were taking candy from a baby. However, I am not the one having the tantrum. Do you see? Respectfully, I've been dealing with these big eyes for a long time, so I get it. I had a really sick pedophile rapist murderer come up to me while I was working on a psych ward at Spring Grove. And he became so fixated with me, especially during my last pregnancy. He came up to me and he was saying, "You got Disney eyes. I love your Disney eyes. I'm going to harm you before you have that baby. I want you right like that, like you're pregnant. I want to look into your Disney eyes while I harm you." I was working at a hospital, a mental hospital, and I was pregnant. And the problem was there were 38 men. He was one of 38. And there were only two people on the hallway: a retired veteran who was not going to get up and help me and was too far away to reach me if that guy decided to attack me, a nurse who was too concerned with trying to skip over the fact that she really wasn't a real nurse. She was just trying to learn on the job and she watched a lot of YouTube. And the nurses that wouldn't come out of the medication room because they knew it was dangerous out there. So why do the right thing by coming out and at least putting a number out there with a pregnant staff member? No. Plenty of times I found myself as a direct care worker working for the state left in very dangerous situations by people who probably didn't have good green cards, probably weren't legal at the time, probably hadn't gone through the same institutions or licenses or requirements that I've had. I've been surrounded by plenty of people who were not did not have the proper licensing or requirements, yet they were around me in situations where I needed to be safe. I had a nurse, well, a alleged nurse, get punched in the head and get his head knocked in on a concrete wall. And when they went through his licensing, they found out he was a cab driver that they brought in as a nurse. You see what I'm saying? I might be the candy, but you is not a baby. You know better. And you pacify yourself by telling yourself that your hate or your allegiance to these people and your allegiance to trying to help them hide whatever this is gets you anywhere. No, these people are prepared to put you exactly where you're going, and they're going to get money off of you one way or another, whether you succeed or not, because you feed the elites, and that is cannibalism. Anyway, the last card was Nine of Cups. I'll read our scripture. 506. Judge me, O Lord, for I have walked in mine integrity. I have trusted also in the Lord. Therefore I shall not slide. Examine me, O Lord, and prove me. Try my reins and my heart. For thy loving kindness is before mine eyes, and I have walked in thy truth. I have not sat with vain persons, neither will I go in with dissemblers. I have hated the congregation of evildoers, and will not sit with the wicked. I will wash mine hands in innocency. So will I compass thine altar, O Lord, that I may publish with the voice of thanksgiving and tell of all thy wondrous works. Lord, I have loved the habitation of thy house and the place where thine honor dwelleth. Gather not my soul with sinners, nor my life with bloody men, in whose hands is mischief, and their right hand is full of bribes. But as for me, I will walk in mine integrity. Redeem me and be merciful unto me. My foot standeth in an even place. In the congregations will I bless the Lord. Selah, so be it, so let it be. Amen. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Now, into the thick of it. Into the thick of it. I love that show. No, it's not a show. It's a playwright. It's actually theater. Emily Blunt plays in it. Meryl Streep plays in it. A lot of great actors play in it. Into the Woods. Into the Woods. Anne Hathaway plays in it as well. It's like a good mashup of fairy tales told in such a way that you learn a lesson. You realize that the witch is not always a witch. Depending on the perception, you have to understand that the witch was a young fair maiden at one point in time. Something came along to poison her heart and make it contrite. Right? So you have to understand that the people that we deem witches, at one point they had a chance. They were innocent. They had the calling and they used it in a wrong way, or they got manipulated, or they got hurt, or they got stained. Well, I didn't see Wicked. I still don't want to watch it. But I do understand the concept. The reason why I won't watch Wicked is because I didn't like what I saw happen between the two actors. I did not like what I saw between Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. I did not like it. Spiritually, I did not like the interaction between the women. I did not like the way their bodies changed and conformed and contorted. I didn't like the information that was given about them. I didn't like what it looked like. It looked like some healthy women got together and siphoned each other. And it was like, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then I started seeing people talking about the Ozempic curse, the Ozempic curse. Is there parasites in this Ozempic? Because it looks like it starts eating shit that you don't want ate. I'm trying to figure out what's in it. I won't take that shit because it looks crazy the way I see people. And I think that stuff, if it's traveling through your body, it's going to end up in your brain. So if it's eating your body like that, what is it doing to your brain? I'm aware of certain things because I've worked in all these environments. The last unit that I worked in was a special health type of situation, a special health situation. I was going in to work with people who specifically had certain situations going on, and I'm aware how those things can travel up to the brain and eat the brain. Syphilis, gonorrhea, herpes, all that stuff, especially when it is untreated, it starts to eat on the brain. So I'm wondering what is in the Ozempic that is now eating stuff on your body, and maybe your brain is not registering that your body is no longer metabolizing the correct way. I just want to know. And how are we so distrusting of one another, but so trusting of people who we've never come across before? But we're distrusting of the people who have been. It's a bit confusing. All right, it's a bit confusing. 3320, 620, 8. I got up at 4:20 this morning. I lied to you not. 4:20. Excuse me. So somebody's smoking weed. Somebody's using the excuse or talking about somebody smoking weed, or somebody's plotting to do something to someone's weed. Watch out. Those three things can happen. All right. So that's what I'm saying. This is how a lot of people are getting infiltrated by their vices, by their friends, by their local stores or markets. Don't think that buying a sealed package keeps you safe. These people know how to reseal things. They have 3D printers. They have resealers for your potato chips. Yeah, it's a little heated thing. They will steam your mail, open it up, look at it, make copies, and put it back. They've done that to me. They will reroute your mail to a lot of other people. especially if you got coworkers you don't like, they'll send it to their house because they know you'll never know and you don't know their address. So there's a lot of things that are going on. There are people that can close cans again. They're able to close canned sodas. I saw this woman, she was making canned lattes, right? And I saw she had a canner. So it is possible to recan your canned soda. So at this point, you got to really pay attention to your bottled sodas, your canned sodas, your little potato chips. Well, don't listen to me. Your little potato chips, they can be resealed. So don't think just because you're buying packaged goods that you're safe. Look out for little holes. People can use hypodermic needles to poke anything. Watch out for toilet paper. You might want to take your own wipes because there are addicts that will go shoot up and then wipe their needle off in the toilet paper. Pay attention. You don't know, and you don't want to end up with something and you have no idea where it came from, right? I love it when this happens. When they start to tell me to shut up, it's because I've definitely unleashed something that they've done that they're guilty of, or they're going to be guilty of, or they've already thought of, or they've done multiple times. And they just don't want nobody to know. I'm trying to save a few lives here. Thank you very much. And yeah, so that's what's happening out here in these streets. So be aware, look up your medicine, look where it comes from. I realized that mine is being made by some crazy yogi sitting in a mountaintop with very radical ideas. And that medicine is also a conduit for people who do hypnosis and witchcraft. So you can definitely be controlled through whatever that contraindication might be in your medicine. And trust me, somebody might know what you're taking. They might know that you can't be exposed to direct sunlight. So then they'll leave you on a platform for hours at a time, shit like that. So it's don't think that things are a coincidence all the time. Realize that the veil is thin. And this is the age of Aquarius. This is time for you to know the things that you thought you know, you're going to definitely have to unlearn. How arrogant we were at one time. How arrogant I was at one time. The things that I thought I needed to know, didn't know, I needed to know more. And the things that I thought were below me to know meant that I needed to dig deeper. So I had to actually go slum it for a bit so that I can find out what was going on, because apparently I had lived a very, very sheltered life, not by my own devices, because the city had been enacted as a chastity belt on me. I was purposely directed and misdirected out of certain situations because that wasn't the part of the investment. They needed to make the investment come around. So indeed, I am the candy, baby. So yeah, so with that being said, you have to understand when you are definitely being handled. I always said Roderick Davis, I used to always be on Roderick Davis. Even when he was ratchet and raggedy, I'd be like, oh my God, I love Gucci Man. Everybody be looking at me like, how could Miss Bourgeois what Gucci? One, I'm not bougie. I just know how not to live like a trash bucket. But I'm fun. I have a ball. I love myself. I love myself to know enough to know that you can love yourself the way you love yourself. And if you don't love yourself, that's still none of my goddamn business. And a lot of people took offense to that. They wanted me to care about them not liking themselves. And honestly, self-esteem is a very big job for you, not me. And people get offended when they can't pull you into their misery and they can't make you not be great, or they can't make you not be pretty, or they can't make you stink because they just don't have good hygiene, or maybe it's a demon in their skin that stinks. But people don't want to tell you that. But yeah. That's how you'll meet a pretty girl with halitosis, or you meet a fat ass bitch and her ass really smells like ass. Situations like that, or you'll meet a very handsome guy and he has 2 inches to give you, or lack thereof, or you'll meet a guy and he has way too much to give you, or big dick and a STD. So you don't want either one. So, you got to just dig a little deeper. Off onto this Aquarius reading. So we've got about 40 minutes before I get off. Okay, here we go. So this Aquarius reading, this is the star. I told you this is the star. And this is this Three of Wands. Somebody's going to the past, future, and the present. And they're going through the Scrooge thing. And they're going to figure out that, yeah, they could have gotten the cup. The cup was always there. It's just that they were given smokes and mirrors. And they were starting to focus on things that did not matter. They could have gotten to the bag. The bag was there in front of them. All they had to do was protect the bag and stop looking to the left and to the right. The bag was there for them. So somebody definitely did the dog at the lake with the bone thing. They opened their mouth thinking they were going to get a bigger bone, dropped the bone that they already had, and now they're starving. And it's not for anybody to go pick up the bone, go stooping for the bone, and it's not for anybody to go and try to fashion another bone, go on the hunt, get a whole entire carcass, break it all the way down for one stinking bone. Yes, you've been reduced to doing that. Right. So yeah, somebody realized that this is what they've been doing. They actually got started all the way over, but because someone was able to sell them a dream, they traded in their bone to go hunt for a whole entire body that they can't have. What an issue. Someone really got you with that greed, gluttony, didn't they? Those 7 deadly sins. Gotcha. Anyway, so yeah, so now we've got the Nine of Cups. So somebody is realizing that they're going into their Nine of Cups. There is a star that has public recognition. They are visiting their past, present, and their future. And they're realizing that a lot of people in their life suck. And they did it on purpose. And it's not your fault. So go forward with your 9 cups. You see who's sitting there? One damn person. It's okay to spend your money alone. It's also okay to ask for a prenup. It's also okay to test the damn spirit. Some people are not there to love you. They are there to see what you got so they can see what they can get. Don't let a person love your hand more than they love you. All right. So that was the Aquarius reading. The star is 17. We've got the 3, and then we've got the 9 of cups. The star is the 17. So we're going to add the 3 with that, make that a 20. And then we've got the 9 of cups, which makes that 29. 29 turns into an 11. Ascension. Highly intuitive. We are. That is your Aquarius reading. Let's go on down a couple bumps. Boop, da boop, da boop, da boop, da boop. Pisces, the World, Ace of Swords, ooh, 5 of Pentacles. So the world is changing as we know it, and the world is watching the wide web, okay? And there's mental clarity. Everybody is starting to come out of the fog and the veil, and they're starting to realize, looking to the left and the right, yeah, I have been distracted by everybody else's bag but mine. And the reason why I can't get in it is because I don't focus on it. It's because every time somebody comes, they knock, they smoke, they drink. I naturally just come up out the earth and have to be with them instead of with myself, instead of with my man, instead of with my child, instead of with my house, instead of where I pay bills at. Damn. So you mean to tell me everybody benefits from me paying these bills but me? Yeah, it's because you don't try to enjoy it, because you let everybody gaslight you back out into the world. So you don't really get to enjoy everything. The bartender enjoys your tips for them high-ass drinks that you could have drank at home. And then you got worried about the bitch poisoning you or giving your information to somebody in the bar and then getting you set up. So that part's that. And then if you go out and you don't know how to cook, then you got to worry about the hospitality and them putting gratuity on your stuff, and then them putting something in your drink, and then them giving your information and stealing your credit card. So you see, there are a lot of people who are set up to enjoy your money more than you because you don't know how to enjoy your money. You go over to other people's houses and you party all the time, but you've already paid the rent and the gas and electric at your house. So now you're wondering why every time you go over, they ask you to buy them something, or they ask you to pay for something, or they ask you to buy groceries or something like that, or you feel like you have to, but you could have just stayed home and you would have saved a lot of money. And you probably would have had that visa by now, not prepaid. But that's neither here nor there. A lot of people are enjoying your money and you're not. You're just making it. I was tripping when I tried to drive for Lyft for a while, and it was crazy because once I made my first $600 for taxes, I said, you know what, I'm over it. Because one, they don't tell you about how many tires you might have to replace. They don't tell you about how much the gas prices might change depending on it. And I'm not sure that they're not in cahoots together to make sure that the driver doesn't make quite enough money that they actually can do something conducive with their life, because I don't think you're supposed to be taking some of these jobs forever. However, I don't really think it's a flex to be working at an entry level job for 20 to 30 years just to say that you know all the goddamn staff. That's not a flex at all. That's not even growth minded. That's definitely an idle mind, because hey, once you get that down, you don't perfect anything else. So that means that you're actually becoming a bum unbeknownst to you. So now you've got to figure out how to cushion your money because you don't want to do anything to make more money. So you've got to cushion this money that you've got complacent with. So you and your friends that have been sitting around for 20 years, 30 years, not doing a goddamn thing, you watch the next generation come up, do what you do, get bored with what you do, quit and go find something else to do. And now you're going to sit there with all your with all your friends approaching to retirement and say, you know what, we're just going to use the next generation because they've got ideas. And you wonder why you going in the nursing home. Interesting. Anyway, Pisces, let's get out of here. And then we've got the public recognition after the mental clarity. Public recognition, there are people that will see and hear, and there are people that are going to start feeling the situation that they put a lot of people in. There are a lot of family members that are going to start looking at each other and they're going to start refashioning the way that they set things up. There are people that are going to realize that they don't just want to be called for funerals. There are people that are going to realize that things are definitely out of order in their whole family structure. Okay, so that was the Pisces reading, and that is the world is 21, and that's the Ace of Swords, and this is a Five of Pentacles. That's 26, which is 8, which is karma. Somebody is exacting karma. Somebody is definitely going to be found out to be who they tried to hide from other people. They wanted you to believe that they were good old rigmarole people. They never do anything. They consistently just live a boring life. Well, the fact that you keep coming up with all this extra cash in betwixt things and you ain't never did nothing different means that somebody paid for that shit. And a lot of times, the person who's suffering the most in the family doesn't even realize that they the ones that paid the cost for everybody else to try to be the boss. All right, so now we've got Aries out here. We've got a Tower. We've got the Queen of Pentacles, and we've got the Four of Wands. Somebody's foundation is jacked. Okay, so this Tower, this Queen of Pentacles, who's worried about nothing but money, has torn up the foundation. That is an Aries energy. Take what resonates. Sun, Moon, Rising. The Tower is usually 16, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Four of Wands. Oh boy, 16 and 4, that is a 20, which is balancing of the polarities. Somebody has to go because they are a foundation destroyer. This is a person that will destroy anything and everything in their way because they want money. They have been love hurt them. They don't want love ever again. They loved it too hard, or they loved so wrong, and whatever it is, they didn't learn how to love properly, or they didn't never learn to love themselves. They continue to put love out to these warlocks and these witches to the point where they ate themselves up, and now they are an empty vessel, and they are a chaos agent extraordinaire. That is what you would call a high dark priestess, a person who's so dark in the heart that they just can't fathom anyone having fun or smiling around them. They have to figure out how to cash in on that expression. They will see you with your husband and they will try to put a life insurance out on you or your husband, and then try to find a way to separate you and your husband, and then effectively take somebody out and cash in on you and go party with their friends on your dime. And sometimes they'll cry, sometimes they'll look sad. You won't know. It's because they just cashed in on somebody around you and you are not supposed to know. They have friends. And this is how it gets done. So there's somebody who's actually being exposed because they moved too fast and they got sloppy. So this is what happened. This is what it is. The foundation is coming down. Someone is not either even on going to be able to start over. They've been a part of this too long, and once you get beyond the age of 55, what are you doing? What are you doing? Okay. You can't run around destroying people's lives forever. Eventually, time comes, the other shoe does drop. You cannot be wicked all your life. Oh, I'm melting, melting, melting. Somebody actually told that truth because I lie all the time, even though I tell the truth and they hurt me. They won't let me in. I feel so bad. I try so hard to unalive her. All right, that was the Aries reading. There is a she's not white, but it's just like the single white female. This bitch is crazy. The hand that rocks the cradle. That womb is purgatory. How the fuck did you get pregnant? What did you do to these people? You don't have friends, you have cohorts. Yeah, that part. Yeah, so yeah, that wicked woman. And it's unfortunate because the wicked women of the world are what the weak men are looking for because they are looking for a man. However, if they can get a manly woman, that's just as good because she can fashion his beard while he sneaks behind her back because eventually him and his boyfriend are going to try to take her out because she's going to make both of them miserable eventually because she's a wicked woman. So now she's fashioned two wicked men. Weird. All right, so let's get out of there. And James is Shannon and Shannon is James. I don't know who needs to know that. James is Shannon and Shannon is James. And that niece, she's the one that they're doing the threesome with together because they needed to look normal, but it's not normal. Anyway, death, strength, and burdens. Okay, I happen to know that those burdens is a Sagittarius energy. Yikes. We've got death here, which is a Scorpio energy. Death has been coming all the time. Strength, strength, strength. Okay, so somebody's trying to be strong as they know their fate. They actually really can't even afford to cry. To cry now, I mean, don't be a bitch now. You were going hard. You were going hard. Looks like someone wants to cop a deuce at this time, but they're not able to cop a deuce, at least not with saving face. You ever see that person who goes around and say, I'm tough, I'm King Kong, can't do nothing with me, can't do nothing with me, and then something happened, and then they're like, and they really can't afford to cry out because they told everybody they could handle it. So now they got bite the ball. Go in and bite the ball. Hilarious. Okay, so somebody's got to bite the bit. They've got to be strong. Be strong like I was. All my life I had to fight. Your turn. Woo, spicy for that bitch that burnt that brother in the bush. Damn. Yeah, you really did your big one over some money. And I hope your brother catches you. You stole his whole entire life. And I tried to tell him. But when that idiot sat there and said, I'm trying to figure out if you jealous or she jealous of you, I said, please get this piece of shit away from me. That is emotional and familiar incest. Are you fucking your sister or is your sister fucking you? Like, what type of shit is that? I could no longer respect you or look at you the same. You are a vessel that was used and you turned yourself into your own Trojan man. You got used up. and thrown away as soon as you were no longer valuable. The minute you wanted to love somebody who would have actually brought you out of that, you got treated like shit and you liked it. And then they threw you a couple of coins and you went running for it, not even realize you wouldn't be able to get yourself out of the trap you dug yourself in. So have a ball, backpack boy. Anyway, there's a Sagittarius who have brought so many burdens upon themselves because they had to be the man. I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man. Yes, I am, yes, I am, yes, I am. No, your ass ain't. That damn sister is the man. That bitch got bigger balls than you, but I'm gonna tell you, them testicles about to go right on back up because what the fuck was she doing? Somebody's going to put a damn blow up mattress at the graveyard. They're going to have to sleep at the crossroads. All right, so we had the death. I can't help but laugh. You sacrificed them, and they really did not know what y'all had going on. But that's okay. That is okay. So, 8 is strength. And this is the 10 of burdens. That's a Sagittarius 10 of burdens. We got the 8, that is strength and resilience. And we've got the 13th, that is death and transformation. I don't know what you're transforming into. Maybe a zombie, a walking dead, because your heart is gone, my baby. Sorry you had a father wound. This is the issue. A lot of people didn't know, and a lot of guys didn't know. I was dealing with a lot of things when it came to males. It wasn't y'all. I didn't see y'all. Y'all was just avatars in the way. The 2 males that I had to deal with were the ones that I was still grieving over. You guys were nothing but people in passing. There you go. Kudos. So really everything was a veil. You thought, I thought, we thought. No love lost, no love gained. So what I'm saying to you is now someone has the burden of trying to get themselves out of something because they thought they were bigger than the program. They thought they were actually a program. They thought that this was their chance, but they gave it away. Second time around. Do, 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 do. Long as I'm with you. Second time around. So they took your life once, you got out after so many times, and now you realize that they took your life again. And they're going to cash in on it like they've been doing all your life. All right, so like I said, death and transformation. Somebody is realizing that they have now turned themselves into a zombie. You will work and you will be happy because you will have nothing, and it was because you did it to yourself. Can you vote? Can you vote? I wonder who benefits and who still votes, even though they get all your money. Anyway, so like I said, this is a 10 of burdens. 13 plus 10 is 23 plus the 8, which brings us to a 33. Welcome to your ascension. This is your awakening. You threw away your contract with your, I think it was your twin flame / soulmate. You threw away your contract. Yes, it is now expired. Yeah. All right, let's keep going. Okay, so now we have Taurus. That was that Aries reading, that last one. Oh my gosh, bossy you. Okay, so Taurus, we're out here with the 4 of Pentacles, their Hierophant, which is 5, 4, 5, 2. 452, 452. Someone's number, someone's birthday, March. No, we have April the 4th, 2000 what? Or 2002 to 2020, something like that. Young child or something like that. Finances, Hierophant, institutions. Financial security, frugality, something like that. The 5 is Hierophant. That's the Taurus energy. The 4, that's Aries energy. The Gemini, that's 2 of Cups. 4, 5, 2. 9, 2. That's 11. That's ascension. So somebody's got to make sure that they have their finances together, make sure that your credit is together, make sure that you have your things together. Now, that can be a contract to go towards somebody else, but it also could be a contract for you to go back into love with yourself, because somebody has been living outside of themselves for so long that they don't realize that they don't love themselves. They buy themselves the nicest of things. They treat themselves very well on the outside, but on the inside, they don't love themselves very well. They don't go towards people that love them. They don't go towards things that love them. They don't make good investments. They spend money on an outfit, but they don't have anything saved. They got enough money stacked up to buy the latest tennis shoes, but they don't have any reoccurring or no regenerating wealth. Somebody doesn't love themselves like they think they do. They like to treat at the parties. They can spend, they can treat, but they haven't made any real good investments in themselves. So when people see them, they see somebody who's going to pay for things. They don't see you. They see what you got on. They might compliment you on it. They might say they like your girl or don't like your girl, but really they're just around to get what they can get from you or get what they can get from around you. Maybe you're the popular person that treats for, pays for things, and the girls come to where you are because they know that you're going to get them drunk and they don't really got to sleep with you. But the guys around you say you crazy for passing up all that pussy. They're going to wait for you to get them drunk, and then they're going to take the bitches home and talk about you. But the thing about it is, they wouldn't have never gotten to none of the bitches if you wasn't paying for nothing. See how you should stop paying for shit? And a lot of these people don't even they like each other. Some of them girls is giving away coochie because they think that they can make you jealous. So somebody's actually getting coochie because they try to get to you. But you're clueless, right? You don't understand that you're helping other people get more off of you, and you just be like, yeah, I ain't pressed about it. But you paying for it. If you gonna party like that, party by yourself. Like I said, a lot of men have gotten some they've gotten some blowjobs, they've gotten some coochie, they've gotten into houses, they've gotten into real relationships based on someone trying to either triangulate me, make me jealous, or make me chase them. And then when I don't chase, they realize, damn, I done gave my coochie away or gave my stuff away trying to make this person upset. They don't give a shit what I'm doing. Now I'm stuck over here with this, or now I gotta admit that I slept with this person, or I did this with this person, all to get to that person, and this person does not give a shit whether I live or die today or tomorrow. And I just did all that. You done did all them aerobics, and bitch, I'm swimming. What the fuck are you doing? And the same goes for a divine masculine. There's a divine masculine that does not understand that there are people that are out here throwing their bodies as a battlefield. I mean, they are really out here burning gas. You got women burning gas, making their husbands upset because they really wanted you. There are people that got married because of you, because they hated you, or they wanted you to chase, or they wanted to make you jealous, and they don't even like that person. Like, they made a whole life decision based off of trying to get under your skin. I love it, because once you get stuck over there, I'm like, hey, how you doing? Because I see what you did there. You'd be surprised. And don't even think it's limited to them. Church folks is funny. They'll put you in front of their pastor just to see if their pastor look at you, and then get mad at you and try to pray or at the altar at you. She's a Jezebel. The pastor kept looking at her cleavage. Bitch, did you not see how many motherfucking girdles you put on to come in here and look like your ass is round? We see you when you go to the laundromat on the weekend. Your ass don't look like that. Where'd you get that shelf from? There are women, I'm trying to tell you, they will ask you to go to their church to see what man look at you, and then tell their wives, That bitch trying to get your man. Hell no, bitch. You was trying to see what their man liked so you could see if you could get him. You just brought a target. Yeah. And now you got them looking that way, and you the one that's really hunching on that man. Yeah, I caught on to you. You brought me so that you could see what he will and would not look like. And then you put it on me when you and him started sneaking off. I got you, Herbert. I got you, Herbert. Yeah. Put a little bit more money in that offering. Go and do it. Them tithes. Them tithes. This is really tithes. I told you last year or the year before. Y'all using Jesus to sell pussy, ain't you? I know it. So yeah. So that was what was in there for the Taurus. That was the 11 highly intuitive facts. We're coming into knowing the actual dynamics of the thing. Yeah. I remember this chick came straight from church. Straight from church. And the only thing she could thought she wasn't talking, she said, "Oh my God, praise the Lord, praise the Lord. Did you see that? She was in there shouting. She wore the highest heels and she wore that tight pencil skirt. And I was like, it don't seem like you was paying attention to the lesson at all. You wasn't. You was looking at silhouettes. You was looking at pumps. You was looking at hair weaves. You was looking at who wanted what and who where and what type and all that. You was in there looking for a man, but you didn't know that you was systematically a lesbian because you was watching all the women to get the man. And the same thing goes vice versa. The men be watching each other to get certain women. But they watch so long, they start studying wrong and they end up with a tranny, and then they all confused. And now they gotta go with a woman who hit them with a strap because they done stepped into the fucking abyss. And now they getting blackmailed because the tranny didn't realize he didn't mean to be the fuck over there. But now you gotta stay the fuck over there or pay me. That was creepy. Let me stop. Come on, Taurus. Let's go. No, we just did Taurus. Why Taurus want me to come back? Bye. I'm leaving. You stubborn. You's a bully. You stubborn. And I'm gone. So this is Gemini. All right. Keep your boundaries up. Keep your mastery up. Keep your cloak closed because they trying to get to you, honey. They done kicked down 3 of your cups. That's 3 bullshit potential lovers who fucked their life up. But you got these 2 cups. Take them and run. Batman. 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 Hey, I realize it. I didn't want to be the Joker to your Batman because I don't think we should be beefing forever. But I do realize that they did reinvent Batman quite a few times. I am not Val Kilmer. Damn it. I hated it. His lips were like a main character. Batman was not a fucking lip actor. What the hell made you make that damn decision? I will never get over that shit. Y'all should have made Arnold Schwarzenegger Batman and just gave him no fucking lines. I don't know what the fuck you guys were thinking. But he did play a good Mr. Freeze. I'll deal with it. All right, so let's add this up. We've got the 7 of Swords, we've got the 8 of Pentacles, and then we've got the Hermit, which is the 5 of Cups, okay? So, we've got the 7 plus the 8, and that turns into a 15, which is obsession. Obsession with keeping you ninjas over there. And then we have the 5 of Cups on top of that 7. What was that?
7, what is it? 15, and it's a 5. That's a 20. That is 2. So it's balancing. So everything is balancing. So, wow, there is a resonation with me here where I am very, very, very hard pressed to keep you out of my circle. There is a balance. There is a balance approaching to where I might say what's up to some of y'all. What's up? Little pal, that sort of thing. So yeah, bouncing out. Okay, Gemini. So you don't have to be so hard pressed. Now that you see the world as the world is, you can navigate it a lot better with very strong discernment. So go forth and be great. Because a gem is a gem, and I'm the gem that I am. I love it here. And that's the 2, which is balancing. And that is definitely a Gemini. So we are back in reciprocation and receiving and giving to the earth as it should be. Give accordingly now that we have information. Okay, so now Cancer, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We started off in Aquarius. So Cancer, we got the Queen of Swords and we've got the King of Pentacles, and then we've got all these goddamn swords out here. Somebody's gone down into the dark, slipping in the darkness. Mama, she told me that I was slipping in the darkness. All right, so Queen of Swords, King of Pentacles. Somebody cut somebody off. The King of Pentacles, I don't know what's going on, but somebody's very, very heartbroken. So this looks either like this was a union that got back together and somebody is heartbroken, or it looks like a union and where the queen is cutting something off financially and somebody's still heartbroken. Either way, somebody gonna end up hurt in all this situation. And that's crazy. It's all fun and games until somebody's hurt. And that's the problem. Why everybody gotta be hurt for somebody to actually get a little pause or surrender in them? And it's crazy because some people don't even get that. They just keep on going. They just keep on going. So like I said, the Queen of Swords, the only thing out here is the Ten of Swords. So this is wish fulfillment for somebody to be this. I'm not even gonna say it. This is somebody's wish fulfillment is for somebody to go down into the dark. For somebody to end the cycle, for somebody to go away. Somebody's really cold. Somebody's actually really morbid. Somebody's actually wishing this on somebody. So look like the man got some money for it and the queen is cutting people off. So somebody's definitely successfully disconnected from something that they really needed to disconnect from, and somebody's this, and this was somebody's wish fulfillment. I'm gonna step away from this. 10 was the only number out here, which breaks down into a 1, which is something has definitely gone back into perfect unison and alignment. So congratulations and condolences. I should say that twice. I should say that because 2 things can exist at the same time. They could. All right, so that part, yeah, I do have that part. Turns out I'm not all bunnies, fluffies, and emotions. Who knew? Or who paid attention? All right, so now we've got Cancer. No, that was Cancer just now. Yeah, that was Cancer just now. All right, so Leo, Strength, Death, Knight of Swords. Why so much death? What's going on with you guys? Are you taking care of yourself? Are we taking the medicine? Oh, I forgot. Yeah, at this is the age where you start realizing who took care of themselves and who didn't, and who decided to stay in their high school prime and who actually decided to grow. Yeah, around between your 40s and your 60s, that's when you'll really realize who did what in elementary, in middle school, and high school, because You'll start to see them deteriorate. You'll start to see their families reflect exactly what they did, the pressure that they did apply or didn't apply, and it's going to come to fruition. There are some people who are passing away at a very young age, um, not because natural. Well, some are natural due to natural causes, being as though they had worry, they had strife, they had stress. Some had people actually actively working to get them out of there and put a lot of pressure on them. Some had multiple kids, multiple baby mothers. Some had multiple baby fathers, and mothers-in-laws that hated them for being who they were and not them. It was a lot going on. So you're going to see the fruit. You're going to see the fruits by the way of people living by the way they live right now in this midlife crisis. There are a lot of midlife crises depending on their paradigm shifts happening in a lot of people's lives. People are starting to look for therapists. Okay, there are a lot of people buying journals right now because they're trying to figure out what the hell happened in between that heyday and the next one, and are they actually worthy of getting another heyday? Are they prepared? Did they condition themselves? Some of you conditioned yourself to go straight to the pharmacy and live a life of taking pills for the rest of your life. And that's the fact. Some of you have decided that you were going to eat every time you felt something, whether it was good or bad. And now you have to figure out how you're going to will that back. Some of you have decided to, every time you get hurt, you're going to go out and use your body as a battlefield. Some people are going to deal with the fallout of that. Somebody's going to find out that they trusted someone so much and they let someone gaslight them so much that they remained a good person while the other person decided to do what they wanted, and they're suffering because they chose to be ignorant in that space, realizing they were going to keep getting cheated on. But this is the thing, a person that cheats on you is not respecting themselves, which means they're not going to respect another person's body, which means that they're out there having unprotected sex. And you could be good all you want, and you could be docile and agreeing all you want. It does not matter. This person is going to see you as dumb, and they're still going to have sex with you, and they're still going to put your life in jeopardy because why aren't you smart enough to close your legs? Why aren't you smart enough to tell me to wear protection? Or why aren't you smart enough to shut me out of your life? And a person like that will hate you and still do it to you anyway. So a lot of people are finding out that they really have to realize that they are the fruit that they should be judging. They are dealing with the tree of life that they did plant. We can go forward, but at this age, once you get to a certain age, we can't look to our mothers and our fathers, even though we can say what happened. We can tell you what time. We could go back to the moments. This is the time for you to not blame mom and dad, grandma, aunts, uncles, all that stuff. This is the time for you to take the knowledge that you have and apply it to what you got going on now, if you haven't already. Okay, so Leo, strength, this is an 8. Death, 13. Knight of Swords. Okay, so go forward ambitiously. Death can be literally, but this right now is saying spiritually. This is saying that someone is coming to the death of the realization that they can't continue life like this, to continue to pad your life with ignorance, to continue to pad yourself with distractions. Okay, you can't do that. As you get older, you have to realize that your story is going to be told, and it's not going to be told by you. It's going to be told by future generations. It's going to be told by the example that you gave. It's going to be told by your kids. It's going to be told by your neighbors. It's going to be told by people that were around you. So please do your due diligence to provide the real story, because someone is going to try to put 20s on 10s. They might put 50s on it. You understand? And they might even put hydraulics. Okay, so you have to really try to live authentic and live the life that you really want. Not live it for everybody else, but live your story so that you could tell it and be truthful in a way that it is told. Don't worry about somebody putting the wrong things on it. Karma will get them. Trust me. I've had no one put their mouth on me in the wrong situation, and they did not get the reward that was coming for them. It might have taken time and I might not have ever seen it. I won't even look for it. I can tell you that for a fact. I will not look for the reaction that happens or does not happen with you. What I do know is there is no one who have talked about me or been horrible to me who has fared out in the best way. Right now, there is someone that is definitely trying to do more and keep more going so that karma does not catch up with them. But eventually, God will sit your ass down and make you wait for your package. Here I am, baby. Sign, seal, deliver. It's yours. Yeah, yeah. Here I am, baby. Sign, seal, delivered. Not yours. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we got the strength, the depth, the knight of swords. And that's 13 plus 8. What do we got? 13 plus 8, that's 22, which is foundations, all right? So someone is working hard and diligently to relieve themselves of the journey and the guilt of the journey of knowing that might have started the first half a little rocky, but you can go forward with the second half, knowing that you don't have to start from ground zero. You can start from the experience and apply it accordingly. Yes, there are going to be some things that you might feel a little regret or a little sting from, but it's your life. Live it authentically. You survived. You're here now. Whatever happened, you can get through. And not only that, you can use that as a teaching moment, not only for yourself, but for future generations. What happened to the grandmothers and the grandfathers who were of sound mind and body enough to tell stories by the campfire, to tell stories at the dinner, to tell stories at lunch, to tell stories at brunch? Right now, we have grandfathers and grandmothers who are nodding out and almost missing their meth clinic appointment. They're nodding out on the buses. They're nodding out on the subway in the middle of the street. You can't get anywhere because they're in the way. You can't get through the market. You can't do anything. You gotta get searched because they've stolen. We can't go to the bathroom in random stores because they done went in there and got high in them, and now nobody's trusted to do something simple as take a pee. We have to be responsible and accountable for how we have grown and not grown. Arrested development is too much. It's too much. I used to really enjoy talking with grandmas and grandpas. I don't like y'all grandmas and y'all grandpas because they don't have shit to teach nobody. They're the example of nothing. I don't care how much lace wigs, perfume, gold lipsticks, fresh sweatsuits, tennis shoes, crazy socks, caps, lace fronts, braids, colorful this, colorful that. I don't care how you dress them up. They are still people I don't want to learn from. There are still people I feel a problem with when I see them displaying such things in front of little children. Like, do you know that there's a child watching this shit? You go,
oh, hi, baby. How you doing? You want $1? You want $1?
The fuck? You offer me your get high money and then you go try to steal the fucking plant out my yard to sell it back to me.
Remember I gave your baby that $1? You can let me get away with stealing that house plant.
The fuck? This is what's going on, Leo. We are tired of trying to cover our kids' eyes. Where is your shame? They used to hide it. They used to didn't want nobody to see what they were doing so that they can at least go and say, hey, grandbaby, let me give you a little peppermint stick, a little lemon with a peppermint stick. Now you don't want them to walk your kid off nowhere because they might sell your fucking kid while you're gone. For whatever they can get out of your freaking kid. You don't know. I had somebody around me who used to get high and I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but then I started seeing him move a little weird talking about this teacher said he looked good. And I'm like, what the fuck would you mean, the teacher? And then I seen where the bitch work at. So it's not all bad people doing this to you. It's people with jobs that's taking advantage of people who got addictions. And next thing you know, your square ass is all hemmed up because a person with an addiction or a gambling habit or some kind of weakness that sold you to a vulture in a blouse and a lace wig, or a pair of pleated pants and some ballet flats that she looks awful in, but she really wants surgery. So she's willing to fuck up somebody else's life so that she can sell herself to a husband that don't really want him, that's fucking his homeboy. But that's y'all circle of life. Yes, it's a hard pill to swallow to know that this is what people are doing. Ma'am, if he didn't like the original body, he's not going to like the updated body, and he's going to tell you about it one way or another. He's just going to show you by not coming the fuck home and going to go get somebody who's naturally born like that, and then he's going to piss her off because the simple fact the person that's naturally born like that don't necessarily have to give them their money. So then they come back to you because they realize that you're willing to go under the depth of a knife to look like something for a night or two for somebody who really don't like your ass no more because they see what you're willing to do. But you go on and you keep making that fucking spaghetti. Okay, so that's Leo. I got to get out of here because I'm running over time. Right, so that was Death and Strength, and that was 22. That was 22 after the 8 goes with the 13, and that's for the foundations. Oh, it must be you. Just go on and get tested and take it as a L, and just don't come back. Don't come back to my page, and don't go back to him because he don't really like you, even with your upgraded ass. And you don't never smell like no fruit. Virgo. King of Cups, 4 4 wands. Out in the cold, 5 of Pentacles, King of Cups. All right, so that really just told itself. So somebody's foundation is out in the cold. King of Cups is gone. He's disconnected. He done checked out. Bye. And you're still here. Coochie, coochie, coo. You hate that you love me. You can't take your eyes off. Coochie, coochie, coo. Coochie, coochie, boo boo. Oh. What you gonna do? Come out of a bag on me? I seen some fine shit. Oh my goodness, I seen some fine shit. Woo! Woo! I couldn't touch him though, because you too close to him. You might contagious. You're contagious. Don't touch me, baby. Don't give me what you got. Don't touch me, baby. You're too crazy. You drive me wild. All right, so we've got the 6 of Cups, we've got the 2 of Swords, and we've got the 10 of Swords back out here. Yeah, you butthurt. You came out in the cards. So somebody reaped what they sow, and their blind faith, and whoever the hell they had blind faith has gotten them right here. That's where you at. That's where you're going to be. So we've got the 6 and the 2, and then we've got the 10, which turns into what? Which turns into what? The 6 and the 2 is 18. All right, let's do the math. And then we've got the 10 of Swords. Let's do the math. What we've got here is a failure for your ass to understand that I'm getting wish fulfillment. Yeah, yeah. Are you expressing to me that you're a demon? That with that 67, you need to go to Psalms and pray for yourself. All right, all right. Return to sender. Backfire. God damn. Scorpio. Notice Libra. Hold up. Libra's under judgment, and Either you're in a coma or you're trying to sleep this shit away. Somebody's trying to sleep this karma away, but unfortunately, you're gonna wake up and it's still gonna be the same damn timeline. So yeah, go and do what you gotta do. Probably can't get out of bed. You're under judgment. Somebody's under judgment. That's the Tower, and that's the backfire. And then it's the Ten of Wands. So now everybody knows your business, and so do you. Even though you tried to act like you didn't know what was going on, because you're a pathological liar. And the thing about pathological liars is they start to lie to themselves first. So really, the reality is really distorted. The last person to find out what the truth is really them, even though they're the one that started lying. It's crazy. It's really, really, really chasing the rabbit. They would never be able to do anything with the kaiju in Pacific Rim because they'd be stuck chasing the rabbit. They would never be a good partner for a ascended master because they would be stuck chasing the rabbit. Half of the machine would be on point and the other half would be destroyed. So that would not be a perfect partner. The perfect partner for ascended master would be the same thing as what's in Pacific Rim. Someone who is of like mind and with control and discipline and able to not chase the white rabbit. All right, so that is that. And what's the Four of Swords, Judgment. Yeah, I think Judgment is 20, if I'm not mistaken. And then we've got the 10. 10 and 20, that's 30. 34, that's 7. Complete cycle. Someone's under judgment. And this is complete. Someone's been exposed. All right, so now let's get over to Scorpio. Scorpio. Yeah. The Lovers is at the bottom of the thing, so yeah. Love is back to loving herself. We got to decenter the male, decenter the woman, and actually find out what the hell is in the center. Oh. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? Let's find out. 1, 2, 3. Call on God. All right, so now we've got Scorpio here, which is the 6 of Swords, getting over to calmer waters, some stagnation, and a Knight of Swords, fresh perspective. So someone had a bit of stagnation, or they're just stuck right now because they're working on getting onto calmer waters, or calmer waters, moving onto calmer waters has gotten them stuck because they have to reconfigurate to make some new ideas. And that's what they have. That's what is going on. Excuse me. I think the Hangman was 12, and this is a 6, which makes that an 18, and 18 turns into 9. So someone definitely needs to go into meditation and pray. They need to go into some counsel or get some type of counseling. Go to a professional, a real professional, and see about what you can do. You can definitely go to life coaches. You can go to work centers. You can actually just go into classes. There are some free classes online that you can take that would probably help with growth mindset. Getting into something different will be advantageous for you at this time. Okay, let's go. Do it, Scorpio. Scorpio. Let's go. We got the 18, which is 9. Definitely meditation, prayer, yoga, something that does something for the inside of you so that you can push it out, push your creativity out, and express yourself in the best way. And don't forget to wear a cute outfit. Okay. Now we got Sagittarius. Then we got Capricorn, and we're done. Okay, so Sagittarius, Queen of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, and we've got a bit of boundaries here. So the Queen of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles. So everything is over this Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands is just sitting here with a sunflower. She's got her staff in case she's got to reach out and hit you from across the street because she really doesn't want you to walk up on her. So somebody's protecting their coins, they're protecting their abundance, they're protecting their wealth, they're protecting their health, and they ain't afraid to stick you with the last few swords that they got stuck up because everybody else got the rest. They got them. Shots fired. Well, should I say pitié. Fencing. Let me come back. Okay, so yeah, somebody's really a great swordsman. They're great because swords are ancient. Swords means there's purpose, there's elegance, there's a certain thing to swords. You have to, you have to have a flick of the wrist, should I say. Yeah, so like that. So yeah, that's perfect. No numbers really, except the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of Swords, 1 Pentacle. 5 of Swords, 5 unexpected change, Good morning. Okay, so that was that. That was that for Sagittarius, and that's shooting true and everything else. Like, yeah. So you have to protect your things, but you also have to be defensive, be sweet, be nurturing, be loving, but be dangerous too. I love it. Yeah. All right. So last but not least, hi Capricorn. How are you? We've got sneakiness here. Somebody's being sneaky. It's getting sticky. All right. So what is this little sneaky bastard doing? It's actually an Aquarian thing. So somebody's trying to think out of the box. They're trying to come up with a new plan. It's going to be so different. It's going to be so different that nobody's going to see it. I am the only one that thought of this. This is my angle. Really? Really? Sure? Are you sure? Okay. It's okay. Bless your heart. You're so precious. I like it when you try. Okay, so Capricorn, last but not least, come on with our stoic selves, because it takes a certain amount of EQ, rationed really good with IQ in order to do this thing here. And you got to appreciate the effort, right? Yeah. Okay, so Queen of Wands, and we've got this sneaky bastard here. And no, I don't want this. I want to reconfigure because this looks like the same cards, and I'm shuffling, and I don't like it when it happens that way. Let's do this. All right, Capricorn. Somebody is throwing energy at me because my cards just popped out of my hands. And this is the full deck, and the full deck does what the energy does. It's really good as far as conducting energy because it's foil. As you know, foil, it conducts the energy really, really well. So somebody's definitely throwing the energy out here. That's cute. That's cute. Little furry dust and shit. All right. All right, Cat. You still got your swords up. You're still the Queen of Wands, and you're still getting the Ace of Pentacles. How the fuck did I do that? I did it. Yeah, I did it. I called the same cards, and I did shuffle. Boom. There you go. So, for Capricorn, we're kind of in the same energy a little bit, and I like it. You got to stay stoic. You got to keep your head up. Keep your head on the pivot, and remember this stick. Pop them in the goddamn head if they get close, within a hair's breadth, okay? Because these bitches are stealing hair. They're stealing DNA. I got a bitch stole my drawers. And I believe since it's been so long, maybe she's eating just one string at a time. I mean, it was lace. There's a lot of string in lace. So, yeah, be careful. When you go to the count your drawers, count your socks, count your spoons, count your forks. People are doing shit with your shit. They're looking at what you buy from the grocery store. They're trying to copy your whole essence. They say, hey, well, that girl's man comes home, so maybe if I shop and go to the grocery store like that girl, I can feed my man the way she. But you don't cook like the bitch, so stop playing. And yeah, you don't smell like fruit. Yeah, you don't cook rice good either. And yeah, you'll never be like the man that she has because you can't dig a little deeper, and the deepness that you have isn't the deepness that she requires. You can't replace that man, can you? No, you can't. No, you can't. All right, so Capricorn, remember your divine masculine and your divine feminine does balance out in you. You definitely have to make sure that you are doing the thing that you want to do, and don't forget to bop anybody that gets close enough to try to steal your DNA or at least copy it, because these bitches out here are weird. They're making spaghetti. Don't trust the stud. What the fuck does she do with that blood? Is she drinking it? What is she using it for? Is she using it so that she can take over the fucking world? I must have got somebody. What is that stud doing? What is she adding in that cup? Don't drink out that cup. And you do know studs are probably required to get hit at least once or twice a month. She's still a woman. All right, so now that I've said what I had to say, have a good day, or the day you plan to have anyway. All right, so that's me. See crest out. The only number out is 5. Expect changes. Changes will come, because what are we doing on this world if we're not changing? All right, till the next time, don't come for me because somebody has definitely sent you. Don't do it without subscribing or liking or something. See you later. Later.